Everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm not doing an explanation for my last two videos, but I'm just kind of doing a little summary of an idea that I've kind of ever since that last video that I did where I was downtown Madison in front of that boarded up uh, store. Hey, by the way, I came up with this thing. Now the stores are wearing masks, but they're made out of wooden board. You know, some people are saying the mask thing, like there's these conspiracy people that talk about the mask thing being some kind of ritual, but I'm just like, whoa, this board, they even put masks on the stores now. Anyways, so I promise I'm not on anything, by the way, other than caffeine and not taking a shower. But so I've decided that I'm probably going to be doing a lot more, kind of just going into, I obviously I'm talking about politics again. God damn it, this thing keeps clipping. And I'm talking about politics again, but I'm probably going to come at it from more of a satirical angle because it's like I'm just so fed up that I just want to just like poke fun at stuff and just try to come up with more stuff. And really, that one on State Street, the one got like I think it's like at 50 views. I was pleasantly surprised by that. It was just an 8-second video, but it got like a bunch of stuff right away. I was like, wait a second, I've been watching a lot of JP Awaken with JP videos, so I'm just like, and I'm not trying to say like I'm gonna copy any of his stuff, but I'm just like, I thought it made me feel so good to watch his videos. Honestly, like, just it was like an outlet. Like I've just been so pent up about this stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave it alone for until November and after the election. I can talk about it, but maybe just be doing a little more. I don't know, those last two are probably pretty terrible, but like the quality, I could work on. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm going to try to work on some more satirical kind of content than what I've done before, because I think you know taking things into a parody or satire direction, I think is probably healthy and helpful, to people right now. So that's one thing I'm going to try to explore. Um, I just I've been contemplating that since that video, but even before, I did a video this summer with my friend and his girlfriend. Um, not that kind of video. Don't worry. Um, I did a video where I filmed them and I played this character. This person I call him Rufus McDoofus. He's kind of like a guy that's like so. It actually okay. So I in this role playing game that I play that we played a year or two ago, me and my role playing friends. I played this guy named Mr. Square, and he was kind of based on this guy I know, but he's like he follows the rules to the T, like about everything. Like he's a square, right? Listens to the dorkiest music, whereas the dorkiest clothes. So this Rufus McDoofus is kind of an extension of that, but for the virus times, because like the guy, he's like so in the into the mandates. He'll like micromanage everything, like attack people for it. It's kind of like a lot of people on Twitter right now. But I like to attack the myself. I like to attack the hypocrisy. Obviously, like if a politician violates a lockdown and goes and gets her hair cut and without a mask or whatever, all that stuff. That's what I like to point out. But Rufus McDoofus, this character that came up with, who's not fully formed. It's not completely because actually his voice was different in the summer when I did this video. But basically, to a summation about the video that I did this summer with my friend, I was like filming them together. They were outside, and I was like, "You're not wearing a mask. You're gonna talk on Zoom for 6 months before you met. It's what you're supposed to do." You know, it was kind of this video. I might ask to. I'm not going to post it, but I'd love to post that because I think it's fucking hilarious. But and it's the emergence of Rufus McDoofus. Of course, I've heard that name before. People have used that name before, but I think it's funny. So Rufus McDoofus is like believes like the uh, worst like news about the virus, like, and he like exaggerates it to like the nth degree, and like only believes that, no other proof, like no other like this character that I'm coming up with. and he only believes that, and only, you know, he has actually lived in his, he's actually not been outside since March. And but if he does, but no, wait, I'm trying to figure out, has he been outside since March or not? Maybe he did go outside a couple times, and he was yelling, he was like yelling at people ironically about them not wearing their mask on, or not wearing their mask right, or fucking, you know, being a Karen about all this stuff, you know. So that's kind of the basis of that character. So these two videos that I did, an explanation for those. The first one was a real article on Blabbermouth about James Hetfield and how he's like, what he's doing right now and all this shit. I mean, I don't give a fuck that much about, you know, James Hetfield, but I still read Blabbermouth. It's metal, at the metal news site. He's talking about he's in Colorado, he's hanging out with friends and doing cigar pits and all this shit. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And then he kind of sort of digs in at Lars, because Lars hasn't left his house in months. So I was like, this could be a good first video for Rufus McDoofus on YouTube, because like he's like a Metallica fan of like their worst albums. Even though I know I defended Saint Anger, but he's like, he likes their worst albums. He's like the biggest dork, but he's also like the biggest critic, asshole, insecure asshole about the virus, and he'll like attack James Hetfield for having friends over and stuff, and like, because like I think it's good to make fun of some of this shit rather than just like these endless debates about little fucking statistics, you know. And I've gotten into these debates about, oh, this study says this study says that, this person says this doctor said this doctor contradicted themselves 5 times. Uh, you know, so it's just like it just, I think it's a good idea to do more comedy in general. I've always wanted to get into it. You know, I actually did, before this whole shit started in February, I did like was it 2 or 3? I think I did 2 or 3 open mic appearances for comedy, and I don't know if people like it or not. I don't care, but like I'm gonna try to like explore this and explore this character. I think this character can like, I don't expect this character to take off or anything. I'm just gonna be doing it once in a while just for fun, because, but in, like the metal community, I think it's really fun to do, because like I know some people from Blabbermouth. I've been friends with them on Facebook and stuff, and like I noticed that like if there's a musician that does something like, and they really like that musician, and it's not like really extreme what they're doing, but even if it's like something that contradicts their political thing with the virus, it's like, I'm just like, it just seems like people are just like, they'll make a rule, you know, if, like I said before in a previous video, I think people do pay attention to like, hate to go back into this thing, but like a lot of the self-help stuff that I've been into, like if you put this frame out there that people, if you, people will fit your frame that you put out there. So if people are freaking out, like that's the whole anti-maskers thing. Like a person probably hates anti-maskers and will shame them on Twitter, but they have this friend that's like, oh, well, they're cool. Yeah, they don't wear a mask all the time, but they're cool, you know, but they're different. You know, there's this kind of thing with people, because if you present, but they never, that this person isn't really an anti-masker that they're talking about, you know, things like that. Like there's people have these contradictions and all these things, and it's like these frames that people put out there, if that makes any sense. So with these musicians, like they would have maybe criticized a band like Great White for fucking playing a show, but then Destruction plays a show, and they're like, there's a few people like in the comments talking about how, oh well, I hope nobody got sick or something like that. But then like you know, a month before, Great White played a show with people, and then they're like, oh my god, they're grandma killers. So I just noticed these like contradictions, and including with the quarantine thing, like Blabbermouth no longer calls it I don't think they don't call it quarantine anymore, but there's still these quarantine shows where people get together on Zoom and they do these virtual shows, and then there's these non-quarantine shows where there's no audience now, and they don't even mention, the bands don't even mention what they're doing. It's not like they all, you know, you're not supposed to be hanging out with people and out of your household without a mask on. And these bands are playing on stage and fucking running around and sweating and singing really loud. Well, they're spreading the virus amongst themselves, amongst the 4 or 5 people. It's just got these contradictions. Like, it's like on Blabbermouth, people are contradicting themselves. And like, even I'm not going to say his name, but someone on there who might be writing on there, it's like now that the mood has shifted, like oh well, the quarantine. I thought that like sometimes I don't know if the quarantine's over. Suppose the quarantine is over, or it's not, or it's supposed to be. It's like every other day. It's like, oh, during their C virus downtime. Now he's writing that instead of the quarantine downtime. Because for a while he's just saying quarantine downtime. Now he's saying C virus down. I'm not going to say the name of the virus, but it's like all this fucking madness, like just going on. It's all over the place. So yeah, Rufus McDoofus. I'm gonna try to think of more structured, more videos where I comb my hair. You know, the video. Actually, it probably fits the video a little bit more. Like I've been in my house since March. Ah! You know, like I think it kind of fits in a way, like doing these videos with messy hair. But uh, I just want to like kind of poke fun at a lot of this stuff now. I'm just like it's a good outlet instead of the direction where I'm like all serious, like, well, this statistic says this, uh, you're wrong about this, blah blah blah. I know it's like, why not just poke fun at this shit? You know, it's like poke fun at the people that are fucking like really extreme. You know, and you know people, and yeah, maybe I'm not. There's already people poking fun at anti-maskers and people that are really like care. You know, there's already enough people out there. We need to have the other side represented too a little more. You know, it's not. It's not. There's a few people doing videos like Carl Vernon. He's doing some great fucking work. One of my favorites to watch. So I don't agree with him 100% about the virus stuff, but I love his videos. I think he's great. I think that the one he did about the glory, the glory hole in Canada thing, I just couldn't stop laughing. That was one of my favorite videos in the last year on YouTube. Period. It was so funny. Um, Stuff like that, where he's just like, it's just like some of the stuff is so ridiculous and it needs to be made fun of. And and yeah, I'm gonna make fun of it from the COVIDiot side of comedy. You know, it's like, who cares though? Like, that's not enough of that represented. We got to, you know. I guess Awakening with JP was that. Yeah, Awakening with JP is the only channel that's really had like that much high profile comedy from that point of view, in my opinion. Where you know, like the one he did about the lockdowns, that was fucking brilliant. You know, I've seen some other stuff. Him and Carl Vernon, the only ones that have, you know, that I've really seen out there. So it's not exactly a crowded market, is it? No, I'm not going to switch my channel to all those kinds of videos, but I'm going to probably do some more videos. I might even be doing a little bit more techie, you know, more advanced videos. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm just going to see how these videos are going. I just know that the one about the Is It Over, which I think I called it Is It Over or whatever, the one where I was on State Street. I thought that one, like, I saw the comments, and thank you for the comments, and I saw the likes. I was like, whoa, 44 views in like a couple, you know, in 10 hours. Whereas, you know, the 5 unknown questions about the virus or whatever gets like 5 views or whatever in a week. It's like, holy shit. So I think there's a market for this. Not that I care, but you know, I'm just gonna do it because it does get my fucking, you know, get my aggression out by doing comedy and trying to make fun of these people. The people that are on the extreme other end, of course. You know, there's an extreme end of each side. There's the side, and that's what people don't understand when they shame people on either end. They don't know that there's this actual spectrum, like I talked about in this other video. You know, there is a spectrum with this, and that's the people are starting. I think people are starting to understand the spectrum a little more, but some people on Twitter and stuff are just don't understand that there's a spectrum. You know, teenagers are still dating. People are still dating and stuff, and you're supposed to isolate. You know, there's still people that think that we're actually supposed to quarantine until there's a vaccine. Like literally, like hunker down, like Mr. Sauchi said. I'll just say Sauchi. There's people that literally believe that. I mean, they literally, and they're calling for, there's like, they're calling for lockdowns on Twitter, like more lockdowns and shit. It's like no. Oh, let's not look into like rapid testing or contact tracing or anything like that. No middle ground with this. We gotta lock down the cases. Oh my god, it's like, oh man, just fucking facepalm city. It's just so ridiculous. So yeah, I broke my fucking political fast, I guess, by doing a video that's political. But yeah, not Mr. Square. Mr. Square is a role playing character, but this is kind of a extrapolation from Mr. Square, who has actually had superhero powers where he could like. It's hard to explain. I'm not going to go into the role playing games thing on this video, but um, Mr. Square had a lot of cool powers too. But he's like a superhero. He has like he's just the biggest square on the planet. So like Rufus McDoofus is like it's kind of a it's kind of a version of that, but for the virus stuff only. You know, even if it contradicts itself too. That's the thing. Like I want to have like some of the stuff talk about the contradictions of some of the mandates and some of the guidelines, and like actually like just dive deep into it. So you can look forward to that. I'm gonna try come up with. I mean, I'm gonna be doing a lot of other stuff on this channel too, but let me know what you think. I know this is kind of an edgy thing, I know that this is kind of a contentious point, with a lot of people. Like, if they normally watch my channel or watch my videos that I post wherever for music stuff, they're like, oh my god, he's one of those guys. I know what people might think, but it's like, how else we're gonna fucking, we gotta have open dialogue and discussion and debate and comedy. We gotta fuck. Comedy's good, comedy and satire, and it's like, I disagree with a lot of stuff that I disagree with some of the things Awakening with JP has said, as far as the virus stuff goes. Like, it's like, well, the 6% thing, that's kind of like, I watched this John Campbell video about the 6% thing, which was really good. I highly recommend it. Kind of goes into detail. However, it's true that people are, that are older or whatever do die more, and sometimes they're on their deathbed already. So that's true. Both sides can be true. You can say, well, only 6% of them died from the virus and stuff. It's still an unanswered question. Is what do they mean by that? Because the way that it's so fucking confusing. The transparency is not there. The transparency. I said the other day to someone that if Fauci and Dirks, I'm just trying not to get this flagged. Okay, if they would have had open, like, they call it town halls. Let's say that not open, literally open, like on Zoom or whatever, once or twice a week with the citizens, like that a certain segment of the populace was picked, like, for this 2-hour long town hall each week, where they would be able to answer any question that people propose to them. They would have been doing that since March. A lot of this stuff, it's conspiracy theories, these contentious debates, and maybe even the mask thing, the debate may not have happened. But there, no transparency. Just give trillions of dollars to corporations, all this stuff, and just like not explain yourself, not apologize. And I know Fauci has come out more recently about the mask thing in a little bit more detail, but why did it take him so damn long? So I don't know. That's what I have to say about that. But yeah, we can look forward to more videos like I just did tonight with the character that I'm doing, and I might actually do some more better quality stuff with it too. Who knows? But I'll have to see what people want to do and how I will do it. But you can also see you're also going to be able to see more music commentary in the near future, as well as more manifestation stuff, because I'm getting deep in that rabbit hole right now, and I'm not going to get out anytime soon. Instead of the virus rabbit hole, because I've been in that for 6 months, where I've read countless articles, been on Twitter with countless people, and countless people have emailed. I mean, not countless people have emailed me, but people have emailed me. People have commented on stuff. We've gone back and forth with them. I've gone back and forth. I've been in that rabbit hole for far too long. I need to take a break from it, but I can still take a break and have fun, poking fun at some of the crazier people on the other side. Yeah, there's people on the one side that, you know, might believe all this crazy conspiracy stuff and might be against masks, and people make fun of them enough, you know. Maybe we need to make fun of these people that haven't left their fucking house since March. You know, I think that needs anything needs to be that's or want things locked down until, you know, there's a vaccine whenever that's going to be. Who knows? You know, I think the World Health Organization said like 4 years or some shit. Like, no, come on. So, anyways, that's about all. Peace out.